Hey everybody, welcome to Monday. It is the Coffee Run Live. Super excited to have you. The start of a brand new shiny week. How very exciting. So today I wanted to chat with you a little bit about motivation. And this can be something that's really obviously important for those days where you're not really feeling it, or you've had something come up that has kind of knocked you about a little bit, or maybe you're just a little bit comfortable. So I was chatting with some clients in a live video on Saturday actually about different ways for you to be able to get leverage over yourself. Now, most people, if we think about it, most people have got really awesome goals, right? You want to get to 100 grand a year, you want to get to 250 a year, you want to get to $1 million a year, you want to get to 10 million a year. Whatever it might be, if we look at a financial goal, most business owners have an idea about how much money they want to make, which is awesome. So if we use that as an example, that would be a moving towards pleasure motivation, right? You want to lose weight is moving towards pleasure. You really need a coffee is moving towards pleasure. Those different types of motivators are really great, and most of us have got that. However, in terms of actually implementing, in terms of taking action, getting moving, most of us are a lot more motivated to move faster when we're moving away from pain. Good morning, Kelly. So for me, the big thing is I've got these goals about what I want to hit financially, about what I want to achieve and what I'd like to do and all of that kind of thing. And that's awesome. But when I'm feeling a bit flat, or hey Ainsley, if I'm a little bit like, I could just sit here and just do the normal, comfortable, safe things, that motivator is not enough to actually get me going, right? Most of the time, for many people, we're a lot more motivated to move faster, to dig deep if we're moving away from pain. Now, if you are someone who is kind of pretty healthy, we'll use Ainsley as an example. Thank you for all the love hearts, Ainsley. Use Ainsley's stuff as an example. So she's got this amazing program called Stretch School. Now, I might really want to be more flexible, be a bit more supple and things like that. That's a really good example of, hey, Ashley, moving towards pleasure. I would like to be able to touch my toes without having to bend my knees or, whatever that might be. So that would be a moving towards pleasure goal, moving towards a goal. Moving away from pain would be me sitting here going like, oh my God, my back is so sore. I cannot live like this for a moment longer. I've got to do something about it. So that would be me moving away from pain. Good morning, Tamara. I really like the idea of having my menu plan and everything done, but the reality is that I'm not motivated to do anything about the menu planning and the shopping list and everything until the fridge is empty and there is nothing to freaking eat, right? For me, that's what gets me moving the most. Now, a lot of the time you will hit, or not a lot of the time, we will all hit phases in our businesses where we hit what we like to call the plateau or the rest stop, right? So I'm going to draw you a picture because that would help. All right, so if this is our little picture and this is our starting point, so we start here, right? And we're putting in a lot of effort at this point, yeah? And then you might not be seeing a huge amount of growth or whatever really quickly, but you're still going on, you're going on. And then all of a sudden you'll find that you have a spike in results. Now, at this point here, you can't keep that level of activity, that level of momentum, that level of motivation happening, utilizing the same circumstances that you used or the same set of tools that you used in order to get from here to here, right? Like that would be in a graph, in a J curve or whatever, that would be coming up here. So we've got to do something differently. Now, in order to be able to work out what that is, we have to have a little bit of a rest stop. But here's the kicker. Now, this doesn't mean that you stop, right? You keep doing what you're doing. You've got to keep your foot on the pedal, even when you're going here, but you're still doing essentially the same things. At this point here, something needs to change. You've got to make a decision in order to level up. Now, for some of you, you'll find that kick to move up might come from internally. Some of you, it might be an external pressure, an external motivator. For me, I need to create often a circumstance that forces me to really lift and do something different. At this point, I've got to be in a fair amount of pain, right? In order to lift and to do something differently. That seems to be my Achilles heel. So at that point, we go, all right, great. What can we use it as an external motivator? Some people will look at going and we've got to get leverage over yourself, right? It's all about getting leverage over you. So is it about setting a new goal? Is it about setting a really big stretch target that you're going to almost here? It's almost like that pulling back of an arrow so that you can go up, right? So some people will go and borrow money. Some people will go and get a line of credit. Some people will borrow money from friends or family. Some people will go and do crazy things. You know, money can often be, for some people, a really great motivator. So yes, Ainsley, you can help with the Achilles heel. Oh, well, all the fun and jokes on a Monday morning. Go you. High five. That was really good. So here's the other thing though, that I really want you to hear. We find that external motivator and you'll go like, bang. But again, that level of momentum and growth and push or hustle or whatever isn't necessarily sustainable. So we need to have another little rest stop here. Now, there will sometimes, not all the time, but there will sometimes be something, a set of circumstances that happens here that forces you to really kind of pull back, right? Usually at this point, you've hit a bunch of goals. You've hit things that you thought that you would never hit before. And something will happen that will cause you to kind of take a step back and recalibrate. Think about, what is it that's really important? Why do I want that money? Why do I want that lifestyle? Why do I want to do all of these things? Why can't I just keep, in reality, why shouldn't I just be happy doing what it is that I'm doing? Why do we always need to push or grow or whatever it is? So often at this point, things will take a bit of a step back. Sometimes that's an internal thing, sometimes it's an external thing. An example of this, I spent 2 years purposefully scaling my business back in order to be able to spend a lot more time with my family due to a whole bunch of reasons, which we don't need to go into today. So then we need to stop the free fall. So again, we've got to make some decisions around, okay, well, hang on a second. Do I want to give it away? Because otherwise it's going to keep going down. Or do I want to really keep going? Is this what I want? So you'll spend a little bit of time rebuilding momentum, doing what you need to do. And then you go, okay, you know what? I am freaking ready for this now. And you'll experience usually a really big growth point. So as you can see, like the curve or the graph or the line would still be pretty similar, right? In terms of the way that you grow. But what we don't see often is the fact that this is what's really going on. What we see is the overnight successes, because that's what we're sold, right? The overnight success where they keep on making that upward trajectory, where in reality, there's all of this stuff that goes on behind the scenes that most people just don't share. So how can you get leverage over yourself at this point here, and at this point here, and at this point here, in order to lift and in order to get moving? So like I said, there were some different examples there around you. Hey, Leanne, good morning. It might be around backing yourself into a financial corner. For me, one of the decisions that I made back in 2012 was, I don't want to have to move out of the house and go and live with my in-laws. That was what I needed in order to be able to lift. I needed that really big, holy shit, that fear of the worst possible scenario in order to be able to lift and grow and get to where it was that we wanted to be. sometimes that fear of losing it all or whatever can be enough, or letting someone else down can be enough to get you propelling and moving in the right direction. So get leverage over yourself this week. What do you need to do? What can you put in your world, in your plan, in your way, in order for you to be able to really lift and keep going and dig deep and hit that next level? Because your people need you, your audience needs to hear you, and they need to find you so that they can, do what it is that they need to do. Thanks, Kelly, for the love hearts. Yay! They go like this up my screen. All right, everyone, have a really beautiful and amazing Thursday. It's not Thursday, it's Monday. Golly gosh, big week for us this week. We've got a bit of travel again this week and things like that. So my book should arrive this week. Yay! So if you're interested in landing yourself a copy of that, I'll post the link below in the comments. Clearly, I need more coffee. It's called Visible, and it's all about the reverse engineering your plan without any bullshit, so that you can start to use this digital space in order to not only grow your brand, but to really be able to grow your audience, connect and build relationships with them. So looking forward to getting that in your hot little hands. My name is Nicola. I can't wait to see you guys tomorrow. I don't know what time I'll be coming to you live tomorrow because we will be traveling to Adelaide. But other than that, have a really beautiful and amazing day. Have a great week. Get leverage over yourself and go make shit happen. Talk to you all tomorrow.